Hello, fire babies. Welcome back to my channel. As you know, I am Sachi the Scorpio. Thank you for tuning in again. Happy April Fool's Day. Instead of playing a trick on you, we're going to take a look at what trick you play on yourself and look into the cycle that you can't seem to break and look about how best to break that cycle. We're also going to be using the Child Oracle to see some uplifting energy that we can bring to these cycles. So I suggest watching your sun, moon, and rising. This is the video for the fire signs. I will timestamp in the bottom where Aries, Leo, and Sag is, and I will on the other videos as well for your sun, moon, and rising. So let's get started. Let's take a look at fire signs in general to set the tone. What are some cycles that fire signs need to focus on? That came out fast. So we have icy snow. So Bergmite using icy snow. This is something about emotional energy that's going on, of trying to make it concrete. You know, icy snow. Of taking the water, the emotions, and trying to solidify them. So I think that there's some cycle where either you are being too rigid with the emotions, or you need to learn to solidify them in some way and be a little bit more icy. Let's see what it says. Using air of negative 150 degrees Fahrenheit, they freeze opponents solid. They live in herds above the snow line on mountains. So I do think that this is, you know, they freeze opponents solid. I think that there is some emotional aspect of people that you deal with where you tend to either want them to have their emotions solid for you to be able to understand it, or you are in a cycle of, you know, being like having relationships, being with people who are not emotionally solid. And as a fire sign, you know, that super watery energy can be difficult for you guys. You know, fire and water don't go well together. Water extinguishes fire, you know, but fire melts ice. So, you know, you can deal with the ice, you can deal with the concrete, but not the water stuff. So I think that this is about some sort of solidification of the emotional world. Let's see how to break this cycle. Ooh. So we have Pat Rat coming out stuck, which is safety check. So there's some sort of, I'm hearing like emotional safety. There's some sort of emotional safety check that you should be doing that isn't happening. There's something that you really need to hold a boundary. It's stuck energy. You know what I mean? Like it's not going anywhere. So this might be with quarantine, to be honest, because a lot of people are getting quarantined, so that stuck energy. And I think maybe the emotional aspect of safety checking with people that you're in quarantine with, or people that you're not in quarantine with, you know, that might be having some sort of emotional time, is very, very important. And this says, using food stored in their cheek pouches, they can keep watch for days. They use their tails to communicate with others. So again, we have like an aspect of communicating with others, as well as, you know, food regulation. It talks about food storage in the cheek. So, you know, maybe watch how your relationship with food during this time. Let's see, what do fire signs need to hear from their inner child? Okay, so we have two. The fiery and the little. Aw. So remember back when you were little. Remember that fire that was always in you. Okay, that's very important. The fiery, that is you guys. You guys are the fire signs, and remember that. You know, don't think that you have to be a water type. You don't have to be a water type. That's not who you are. You know, you're not a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. You know, you guys are the fire signs. And that's what you bring. You bring that passion. You bring that dynamic. You know, you've always been this way since you were little. You've always been this way. So don't try to change who you are, because, you know, there's a reason why you have this fire, and make sure that other people know that, but also understand that not everyone has your fire. So you need to be patient with others who don't have the same type of energy as you. Because imagine if you could just make a copy of yourself and be with that person. Actually, fire signs, you guys would love that. I'm like imagining an Aries do that. Yeah, they'd love it. I'm imagining a Leo do that. They would absolutely love it. And Sagittarius would be like, yeah, I'm down. I might bounce later, but yeah, I'd be down. But yeah, so just like, you know, recognize that other people aren't that way, okay? And the little, this is really getting in touch with your inner child. So for those of you who've never done inner child work, this is a very, very good time to do it, okay? And I also think that this cycle has been since you were little, you know, about this emotional, trying to make emotions concrete in some way, you know, and not feeling safe when they're not concrete. So revisit that as a child, okay? All right, thank you. I'm going to go on to Aries now. Hello, Aries. Let's take a look for you guys. What is the cycle? Whoa. Okay, so 3 wanted to come out. The first one that wants to come out is go-go in reverse using horn leech. So I think that there's an aspect of like horn leech I'm taking as like leeching off people's sexual energy, of being horny, of leeching that way. So I think that there is some sort of energy that you get from that. This is also a Capricorn card, so some of you could have a reoccurring theme with a Capricorn. But this is like not like movement that's not really happening. You know what I mean? Like this is dynamic action moving forward, and in reverse, it's the opposite. So what does it say? They inhabit mountainous regions. The leader of the herd is decided by a battle of clashing horns. So I think that there is some sort of battle aspect of you consistently, you know, conflicting with something, or perhaps not going towards a conflict that you know that you need to have. And of course, Aries, the god of war, of course it has to do with conflict, but there's some fight about it. And honestly, I'm really feeling like it is sexual related with horn leech, because also when it's like, I always think of leech seed, and leech seed is a grass type move, and also, you know, has to do with getting cum out of leeching that seed. So yeah, let's see what else wants to come up as a message. So we have Swirlix using Lick Away. Wow, and Bergermite using it's Ice Block and Icy Snow, stuck. So it's that stuck energy, and we just had this for fire signs, so we already know that this is about that emotional frozenness of trying to make emotionals solid, but this is licking away at them. So I feel like you kind of it's like in order to try to get the emotions to understand them, you try to use sexuality as a way, and that's the only way that you connect emotionally, is by, you know, licking, making it some sort of sexual gesture. And maybe that person, I mean, who knows what that person or these people, you know, how that's affecting, but this is a cycle where you're fooling yourself that if you think that emotions are done that way. Also, you know, the Fae folk, like this is fairy type associated with the Fae folk. It's very let's make a deal sort of type energy. You know, the fairies don't give you anything unless, you know, you give them something. So we also have, you know, this is kind of like a kind of like me baby sort of energy. So I do feel, you know, that maybe that's, you know, the other side of Aries, because you're the first sign and you symbolize, you know, being born and being the baby in the cycle of the zodiac, of like the experiences. That's why you have such amazement with the world, and, you know, are so enthusiastic about things. One of the best things about Aries is because you experience things kind of with a childlike wonder. So just be aware of that, you know, emotional solidification energy. And let's see, it says, to entangle its opponents in battle, it extrudes white threads as sweet and sticky as cotton candy. Yeah, this is all about sexual energy. Like what is it? It's extruding its white threads. I take that as come. So definitely a sexual type cycle that you're in. Let's see how to break it. How can Aries break this? Or help? Plusle using positive ion. So you need some positive energy in your life. And, you know, because this is an electric type, electric is associated with the solar plexus chakra. You know, the third chakra, the yellow chakra, controlled by Leo, and the fifth house of self-expression and self-determination. And really, you know, like letting your, you know, how you're the baby of the zodiac. This card, you know, Leo signifies that time of your life where a personality is being developed around like, you know, 6 to 8 during that stage of life, where they really discover who they are. So I feel like part of it is, you know, having people around you, you know, that have a positive impact on your self-expression and things like that. But just be aware, like literally Spirit's saying very clearly, like you need more positive energy in your life. That's how you help break the cycle. You need more positivity. What does it say? It cheers on friends with pom-poms made of sparks. It drains power from telephone poles. So I think that you need to have some, you know, higher vibration friends around you, and also, you know, draining energy from telephone poles. Excuse me. If you're using your phone as some sort of sexual outlet where you're avoiding something and using sexuality that way, I do see that as a possibility. And also with the positive ion, use your phone, like people that you talk to, be very careful about the social media that you're watching. Be very careful about, you know, everything that you consume on your phone. Make sure that it's positive and that it's, you know, giving you good messages, high vibrations. That's really important right now. You can't get lost in that fear. All right, let's see. What does Aries inner child want to say? Okay. So, a lot. The flower, the bubbles, the shadow, the fiery. Wow, fiery decides to come up again. So, you know, the flower I take kind of as like more of the pussy energy. So I think that there is some, you know, divine feminine, like inner child divine feminine worship of really delving into the divine feminine energy, you know, of that from birth until onward, and, you know, really appreciate the divine feminine for what it is, you know, from Aries as the baby to, you know, this aspect of self-expression to wherever you are now. And I definitely see some like pussy worship here, and bubbles, like take a bubble bath, chill out. You know, this is also water energy, but it's not icy. You know, this is very uplifting. And, you know, we have bubbly energy here too, you know, with the cotton candy and the bubbles. This is very like childlike and fun. So make sure that you incorporate that energy into it, and take a bath and relax. Take a bath and relax. The shadow, remember that shadow work is really important. So, you know, if you've been running from a shadow, you know, it's always gonna be there until you confront it, you know? So, you know, maybe not right now because it is your season. It is fiery Aries, Aries season. Happy birthday, Aries, by the way. But, you know, just make sure that you do your shadow work. Be aware of it. Just, you know, everyone's always like, love and light, love and light. Like, yes, of course. But, you know, for every light, it casts a shadow, and we have to acknowledge the shadow. So, you know, as a fire sign, I feel like, you guys are very aware of the shadow because, you know, you are the light, but because you are the light, it's very easy to focus on that, but make sure that you're also doing your shadow work, okay? And then the inner child also wants to say the fight. Yeah, be careful about the aggressiveness. You know, Aries, you're the god of war, so you know that it's necessary for you, but go to your inner child and try to, you know, really consider what fight is worth fighting. Okay. And I think right now, collectively, most people agree it's not at each other. It's more towards establishments and things like that, and how we're being taken care of by, you know, the systems that we devote our entire life to. So, you know, fight that good fight. But anyway, thank you very much for tuning in. I hope that you got what you needed, Aries, and I hope to see you again for your next spread. All the readings for April are up, so for Soulmate Twin Flames, so make sure you check that out. And I also did a collective consciousness read for the pandemic that's going on, so feel free to check that out as well. Okay, I hope to see you again, Aries. Bye-bye. Mwah. Okay, my lovely Leos. Let's see what's going on for my lovely Leos. Let's see what cycle. What cycle is Leo acting a fool? That came out. So, Mencino in reverse, using cleanup in reverse. So there's some aspect of not cleaning up after yourself that you're not doing. So that's a cycle that you're kind of just doing yourself a disservice by not doing that, by not cleaning up your home environment. Like, look how cute he is, and he's like, you know, like polishing the spoons and things like that. It was so cute. So because it's clean up in reverse, it's like you're just not cleaning up. So I don't know who needs this message right now, but make sure you do the dishes. You know, I know right now, especially for Leos, like, you can't let your light shine. You're the sun. You're ruled by the sun. You have to shine. That's your whole thing, and that's what makes you so beautiful. And I know, you know, being in quarantine and things like that, you can't really let your light shine as much as you would want to, but don't take that out on yourself by, you know, making your environment uncomfortable to live in. Make sure you keep that energy, you know, where it needs to be. And and this is like a reoccurring theme as well, so you know, like, just make sure that you're cleaning up after yourself. Let's see what this says. These Pokemon prefer a tidy habitat. They are always sweeping and dusting, using their tails as broom. Yeah, so this really is about keeping your home environment clean. And yeah, cleaning up after yourself. That was very straightforward. Let's see how to break it. I mean, I'm imagining how to break it is to clean. Woo, that was quick. So we have Snubble using Roar, Rufflet using Reckless Charge, and Dark Energy in reverse. So there's something in your shadow, something dark that you need to let go of. And I have a feeling it might be someone who's like telling you what to do. And maybe that's why you have this resistance to cleaning up after yourself, because this is some dark energy that needs to go away. Because we have Snubble, who's it's an English bulldog, so I always associate it with, like, you know, and like his whole thing is like Schnabble, Schnabble, and, you know, just kind of like annoying and shit, and using Roar, and then also Reckless Charge. So I think that there's someone who's consistently like roaring at you, and it's a fairy type, so someone that you have an agreement with, and, you know, it's like, definitely some, you know, magical person, that's for sure, but it's a very kind of contract negotiation type deal here, and they roar at you. Let's see what it says. Small Pokemon flee from its scary face. It is, however, considered by women to be cute. So I have a feeling, you know, it's someone who might scare you into doing it, and maybe that's something that you had in your past, where the only reason, or the only way that you'd clean up after yourself is if someone like yelled at you or something, and you're caught in that cycle. Because then we have Reckless Charge, which is just like, okay, now I'm gonna do everything, you know, and that kind of like nervousness of just flying and like, I'm gonna do it, and it's like a Reckless Charge. So you might, like, you know, try to clean up and then break things, or something like that. You know what I mean? It says, they will challenge anything, even strong opponents, without fear. Their frequent flights help them become stronger. So, frequent fights. So, yeah, there's an aspect of, like, really getting riled up by fights that you have about cleaning up. And that energy of, like, someone yelling at you and then you recklessly charging at them, like, they will challenge anything, you know? So whether that's you doing that or someone else that you're with, like, they will really jump at you to complain about anything, or this, you know, or, you know, someone else not cleaning up, and that's what you're doing. You're recklessly charging at them. Just know that that's some dark energy that really needs to be let go. Okay. What does Leo's inner child have to say? What does Leo's inner child have to say? Woo! Okay. Couple messages. So these wanted to come out first together. The glow and the thunder. Yeah, you know, we were talking about that light and how you guys are the sun, and you know, you really encapsulate that so much. And know that you can, you know, create that glow, that soft, alluring light, you know, or you can act as the thunder where it's scary and destructive. So just know that you have that power. You have that power to do both. And I think whether it's you, you know, having someone else clean up or someone else imposing you cleaning up, like, know that you can obtain the outcome that you want with a soft glow. It doesn't have to be thunderous, okay? And yes, the light, exactly what I said. It's about how you use your light. Are you gonna use your glow, or are you gonna be scary thunder? Okay. All right, Leo, Soulmate Twin Flame readings are up for April. I also did a spread for the collective consciousness during this pandemic, if you want to check that out. I hope to see you again for the next reading, and enjoy the rest of Aries season. Mwah. Bye-bye. Hello, Sagittarius, my soulful Sagittarius. All right, let's see what cycle. What cycle does Sagittarius? Did I see a flipper? No. What cycle does Sagittarius need to break and stop acting a fool? So we have Ralts using Mumble. And then we have, wow, Jirachi using Wish. So there's something that you're trying to speak into existence, and I think that you're not being straightforward enough with. There's something that you know, are hiding, and you're, you know, hiding in the darkness and kind of afraid of the light. And I think it's about something that you're trying to manifest, because you're just mumbling it. You know, it is about speaking it to existence, because Jirachi, we have, you know, the luckiest card in this deck, the holographic. And this is also about love. We have heart here, but there's a wish in the works. There's a wish in the works, and it, you know, it's manifesting. And it says, the twinkle of the stars, the destiny of love, a miracle that grants wishes in the night sky. This is a mythical, and like, it's the, I think it's the time traveler, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, the twinkle of the stars, the destiny of love, a miracle that grants wishes in the night sky. Know that whatever you're doing is in the works. Like this, you know, whatever wish that you have, it's in the works. The universe is on your side, but you need to be patient because the stars aren't lining up. But the way that you speak about it, this mumbling, it needs to be very clear about whatever you're trying to manifest. And this says, it is highly attuned to the emotions of people and Pokemon. It hides if it senses hostility. So I think that they're, you know, keep your vibration high. When you sense negativity, you know, when it hides if it senses hostility. When you sense hostility, it's time to withdraw from whoever or whatever, you know, is giving you that energy, because anything that's interfering with the switch, you got to block it out. Like, build that wall for that, you know. Excuse me. And be very clear. Like, how you keep playing yourself a fool is by, like, you know, you make this wish and, you know, there's some hostility from others, and then you kind of like let it go and just mumble it instead of being very vocal and saying like what's going to happen and things like that. But no, whatever you're wishing, stop withdrawing from it, you know, stop withdrawing from the wish, speak it clearly, withdraw from people who bring hostility to you, okay? Which that was kind of like how to break it off. But yeah, the cycle is not wishing full force, not speaking clearly. And when things aren't manifesting how you think they are, how they should be in your timeline, then you kind of give up and withdraw. But that's not how it works. Things are in the works. It takes a while for things to manifest. Just know the universe has your back. You know, divine timing. Divine timing's everything. All right, how does Sag break this? Especially because, you know, as a Sagittarius with your ruling planet Jupiter, Jupiter is the planet and god, you know, of abundance, luck, you know, spirituality, higher thinking, travel, philosophy, other cultures. You know, you guys really have the craziest ability to manifest, you know, praying to Jupiter, talking to Jupiter, whatever it is, you know, looking at that planet, studying about it, meditating on Jupiter. It really brings so much luck and manifestations, and you guys have that ability to, out of any sign, you can speak it so. And like, just be careful about, you know, like, don't mumble it, be loud and clear. So potion in reverse. So it's saying like, how to break it is, there's nothing to be fixed here. There's nothing to be like healed here. This is just part of it. You know, it's like, you can't do anything to make something manifest faster. There's not a potion that you can take. Also, I usually associate the trainer cards with people. So there might be like, no other person's going to fix this for you, this cycle. You know what I'm saying? No one can heal you from this, only you. You know, trainers are always external people. Also, potion, let's be real here, could be some sort of substance that you're taking. So that needs to be knocked out. All right, let's look at your inner child. What does Sagittarius' inner child want to say? Ooh, okay, quite a few things. So this wanted to go towards the shadow. The illusion and the thunder. Leo just got this for their inner child as well. So, you know, I think that a lot of people are feeling this kind of fear of this thunder, you know, of scary light, scary things that are coming to light, you know, and just know, like, as corny as it sounds, life is an illusion. You know, we manifest, you know, the things that we perceive. So try to stay away from this fear so you're not actively manifesting that. You know, a lot of things that are happening are, you know, clearing the way and shedding this light. Yes, it's scary light on the illusion that we've kind of been living under of, you know, partially how we interact with our social structures and what we expect from them to do for us. So I think a lot of people are disillusioned by, you know, some harsh realities that are happening. But just the inner child is saying, you know, the thunder, you know, like when you're a child and you hear thunder, it's scary. You know, you get scared. It's that rumble. But it's really just an illusion. It's like, it's not anything that's going to hurt you. You know what I mean? It's not some scary thundercat. So part of that is to remember that, like, it's just noise. It's just a sound. You know, it is heat, of course, but like it's just, actually, I can't even think about the science of lightning right now. But anyway, so, yeah, just know that it's an illusion. It's not, you know, it can't hurt you right now. The big and the sweet. So I think that there's some sort of like relationship dynamic to focus on. And if you are feeling afraid, you know, go back to that like little sweet child or whatever and let like a big person take care of you. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you have somebody that, you know, you trust with that sort of dynamic of like, make me feel safe, my inner child is afraid of this thunder, you know, then, you know, have someone take care of you, you know, give you some candy or whatever. I know that's weird to say, but you know what I mean? So, yeah, and also don't be afraid to eat the sweets. But if that's the potions that the addiction, if you're addicted to sweet things too much, know that's your inner child's way of dealing with this fear. So be careful of the sweets and, you know, be a big girl, be a big boy. Okay, thank you very much, Sagittarius. The soulmate twin flame readings are up for April. I also did a collective consciousness spread for the pandemic. If you want to check that out as well, I will link it at the end. So thank you again for tuning in, and lots of love to you. Bye-bye.